Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Let's talk to the slaves. The Arsamars no longer look broken. Hope has brought the pale glow of heavenly fire to their eyes. One of the women clutches a hairpin that by some miracle went unnoticed by the guards, resembling a gleaming stiletto. It ends in a rather vicious-looking point. With their expressions alone, the slaves send a clear message. Don't dare come near us. We stand ready to defend ourselves. Help us, kind sir. We know you are no stranger to compassion and mercy. Your aura warms our hearts like the sun of our beloved Galarian. What is this aura that you sense? We don't know. We just sense it. We are no sorceresses. We are guided by our senses alone. But as soon as you appeared, we were touched by bright, clean energies. And we knew you for a friend. We heard about something like this. A horrible demon. Our master called him the Echo. Wanted to buy us and use us to find a stranger from Galarian. A stranger who is surrounded by a benevolent light wherever he goes. They failed to agree on a price, so the terrible demon left, spitting curses. What a relief. He is worse than anyone else we've seen here. Perhaps these poor, wretched souls sense my presence. The blood of heaven runs through their veins, and our kinship reveals itself. What dire news they bring. The Echo of Discari, the avatar of our sworn enemy, does not cease his attempts to get to me. Explain how to get to the Nexus. Go to my camp. It's safe there. Now some of our women look at you, their expressions piercing. You see a mixture of gratitude and awe in their eyes. Thank you, stranger. We do not expect any help in this terrible place. We will not forget it. You did a noble thing when you did not abandon the weak in their hour of need. You have my deepest respect. So I'm going to finish talking to the people here in the Flesh Market, buy some items I think, and then go back to the Nexus, rest up, fix Sosiel, and
I'll go ahead.
Talk to Camellia. Sarzaxis. Or Sarzaxes? A demon who looks like a ball of lumpy, melting flesh hovers in the air. He clenches a whip in his hand. The demon emanates an aura of confidence and authority. He snorts sternly at a skinny tiefling standing nearby, whose eyes are skillfully sewn shut with black silk thread studded with diamond chips. The demon mutters something incomprehensible to you. The tiefling speaks to you in a soft voice, devoid of emotion. Master Sarzaxis welcomes you to the Flesh Markets, a visitor from another plane. He noticed right away that you're a person of means. Though he himself has no interest in doing business with you, your presence benefits the Flesh Markets, so Master Sarzaxis is prepared to spare you some of his time. The slave will interpret his words for you, for he loathes speaking in any language except the one used at his homeworld. Hey, it's Suture. The Suture's hideous face is marked with desperation. Overcoming his pride, he reaches out to you with his gnarled hand, beseeching your help with this humiliating gesture. You like big words, don't you? Tell me, is there a fancy term that describes someone who does bad things to other people and finds himself in desperate need of their help later? The Suture nods sadly. There is. It's called karmic justice, also known as bad luck. The tiefling interprets another burst of snorting, this time addressed to Arushali. Master Sarzaxis is happy to see Lady Arushali again, and wishes her pleasant purchases at the Flesh Markets. He regrets immensely that he wasn't informed of Lady Arushali's visit in advance, otherwise he would have prepared a special lot exclusively for her. Master Sarzaxis remembers Lady Arushali's preferences very well. He'd be happy to satisfy the wishes of such a discerning client. Arushali sounds calm. You see her hands have started to tremble. Please tell Master Sarzaxis that I have no interest in his slaves anymore. I won't pay for them, neither in gold nor in other ways. Ivy listens carefully, and just as carefully she examines the tiefling's own eyes, his loathsome master, the surroundings of the slave market. Then, in a tone that brooks no objection, she declares, "Everything in this place is horrible. Absolutely everything." Point at the Suture. Tell me that dretch. Sarzaxis begins to snort, spraying saliva. He babbles quickly, which causes short, uncertain pauses in the slave's speech. This dretch, like the other demons in this shipment, is set aside for Lady Hepzimira. Without a doubt, this lazy waste of flesh caught today in the lower city will never prove to be a useful worker. But he still belongs to his new mistress. She is a very influential person. Therefore, trying to deceive her would be disrespectful and dangerous. Master Sarzaxis would never commit such a foolish act. He resents your suggestion that he is capable of doing anything of the kind. Master Sarzaxis is insulted and outraged. There are not many vices that can surpass the greed of demons, but pride is one of them. Imagine what tremendous power it has when the two are combined. As disgusting as it is for me to give this advice, listen to me. If this scoundrel feels insulted, offer him gold. Not as part of the deal, but rather as compensation for the insult and as recognition of his high status. Perhaps gold can compensate for the insult I have inflicted. The demon's grumbling abates slightly as a flicker of greed appears in his eyes. Master Sarzaxis finds your idea very reasonable. He kindly agrees to accept the sum of 30,000 gold coins to atone for the insult you've inflicted. Taking into account your unfamiliarity with local customs, Master Sarzaxis will not demand your hand or eye in recompense. For his part, Master Sarzaxis considers it undesirable to keep this wretch in his stock, for he was the cause of your disagreement. As a gesture of reconciliation, you'd like to immediately release him, drive him out so this unpleasant incident might be considered settled and forgotten. Okay, pay 30,000 gold coins. Let's leave all grievances and misunderstandings behind. Tiefling translates Sarzaxis' satisfied snort, though it is wholly unnecessary. I understand its meaning perfectly well. Master Sarzaxis congratulates you on a successful purchase. The Dretch approaches you, glancing cautiously around. He mumbles in a quiet voice, so that only you can hear his words. I have no idea why Hepzibah needs slaves, but from what I've heard, they don't live long. Becoming her property is a death sentence, no doubt about it. Meaning you saved me. So I guess. The suitor appears confused. It seems this miscreation is not accustomed to being shown mercy, and simply doesn't know how to express his thanks. How were you captured? I've been wandering the lower city, searching for something. Never you mind what. I mean, that's not what I meant to say. It's a personal matter, yeah, that's the right way to put it. So I was roaming around, chatting with all the sundry, when the slave hunters appeared and started chasing us. They threw those who survived in a cage and brought us here. This is a typical occurrence in the Abyss. Social dynamics, it's called. The strong enslave the weak. What will you do now? The gloomy glance at you, Sutra gives a vague answer. I'll continue my search, I will. It won't be easy, but I'll prove to her that I'm smarter and wilier than she thinks. The Dretch's expression is determined, even severe. What are you looking for? The Dretch throws a suspicious glance at you. Don't ask. That's none of your business. Farewell. The Sutra hesitates, nervously scratching the back of his neck. He repeatedly opens his mouth to say something, but nothing comes out. Finally, he starts to mumble incoherently. You. Just be careful. That's what I'm saying. The martyr's sigh, the Sutra turns around, relieved to lose himself once again in Alushanara's warren of alleyways. The blind tiefling interpreter bows before you politely and translates his master's grumbling. Master Sarzaxis greets you and wishes you good trading. Why did Hepzibah and Shamira buy your slaves? Lady Hepzibah is extremely secretive. No one knows what she's up to. No one wants to ask unnecessary questions because Lady Hepzibah has already proven she's quite powerful. Snooping around her business could be dangerous. When Lady Shamira brings Lady Hepzibah with her and says she needs stupid but strong slaves, Master Sarzaxis never asks questions, does not hold a grudge for the meatball nickname. Master Sarzaxis is very wise and shows restraint. One of the demon guards clearly grows interested in the conversation and unconsciously leans forward. Sarzaxis whips him across the muzzle with a lightning-fast blow. The demon's head explodes like a watermelon dropped from a great height. The interpreter comments on the execution with indifference. Master Sarzaxis would like to remind everyone that unnecessary curiosity can be very harmful for servants, especially if it is curiosity regarding the master's business. I'd like to see your slaves. Tiefling's voice is emotionless and fails to convey the arrogant notes you hear in the demon snorting. I'm afraid Master Sarzaxis must reject your offer. All his slaves are caught to satisfy personal requests by the most esteemed upper city residents. Master Sarzaxis is the most influential of the slavers, and he can't afford to waste his time on something as pointless as negotiating with a stranger. Who are you, demon? The demon answers with a lengthy barking tirade, as the interpreter listens carefully to every grunt. Master Sarzaxis comes from a remote corner of the Abyss, extremely far from these parts. Practically no one in all Aleutianira has heard of the magnificent place that is Master Sarzaxis' homeland. He would happily return there because that place is superior to all the realms of the Abyss. However, Master Sarzaxis found himself fascinated with the concept of slavery. In his homeland, the idea of owning another sentient being does not exist. The common practice there is to kill anyone who is not like you. Master Sarzaxis has spent a lot of time studying the sophisticated art of slaveholding, has become the most respected slave trader in the whole of Aleutianira. He's equally disgusting inside and out. Horrible, horrible demon. The most repulsive of all I've seen. Yeah, slavery is disgusting. Listening intently to displeased hoots, the tiefling adds a light touch of condemnation to his monotonous speech. Master Sarzaxis is deeply indifferent to your opinion regarding the slave trade, the order he has established here in the Fleshmarkets. Master Sarzaxis does not find it necessary to listen to the advice of strangers who have come from a primitive plane that will soon be conquered. Sarzaxis' displeased growl makes everyone turn around. Their eyes are filled with fear, a readiness to flee immediately. Address the tiefling. Are you Sarzaxis' slave? The demon bursts into indignant gurgling. Even without understanding a single word, you quickly conclude that he is displeased. Master Sarzaxis wishes you to cease your attempts to bypass him and communicate directly with his property. The provenance of his property is a matter of concern to Master Sarzaxis alone, no one else. I'd like to know more about the Fleshmarkets. Master Sarzaxis finds your curiosity commendable. He's willing to outline the basic principles of the Fleshmarkets and its... The tiefling falls silent for a while, listening carefully to the demon's croaking. Then he finds the correct word. Its hierarchy. He's also willing to explain the intricacies of the highly respected occupation of slaver. It would take a lot of effort to find a place more disgusting than this one, even here in the Abyss. In the old days, my warriors and I broke many slave collars and led countless slaves out of the Abyss. What is this place? This place is called the Fleshmarkets, because here one can buy living and healthy flesh. Slaves for housekeeping, slaves for carnal pleasure, fighting slaves, sacrificial slaves, slaves of an edible nature. Every day, hundreds of slaves are shipped here and hundreds of customers come to buy them. Where do you get your slaves? The majority of the slaves are captives seized during raids of other planes. Master Sarzaxis is happy to inform you that Galarian is one of our main supply channels. The Abyss itself supplies a fair share of slaves as well. Demons have no prejudice against enslaving their kin. Demonic slaves are more hard-wearing and last longer than slaves from other planes. Who runs the Fleshmarkets? Master Sarzaxis has the honor of being the informal head of the Fleshmarkets, because he is the main supplier to the upper city. All the individuals who dare challenge Master Sarzaxis' primacy renounced their false claims, became his slaves, now proudly wear his personal insignia, carved into their faces with cold iron. With the demanding crack of the whip, Sarzaxis calls one of the demons standing nearby. The latter kneels hastily, obediently hides his eyes, and extends his hand palm up. Sarzaxis seems satisfied with this display of obedience, so he lets the demon go by whipping him lightly over the shoulders, leaving a ruby-red welt on his skin. As you may have noticed, Master Sarzaxis' authority here in the Fleshmarkets is absolute. I see. The slave interprets his master's abrupt snort without words, giving you a short bow. I have to go. The interpreter bids you farewell with a polite bow. Master won't keep you any longer. Oh, he didn't say Sarzaxis. It's the first time I haven't had to say his name after Master. He wishes to state that he found this conversation very entertaining. He wishes you fruitful trading, good meat in your cages.
I know the way.
Yeah, I do have every intent of coming back here at some point and killing all these guys and freeing all the slaves. But I want to do all the quests around Aleutianira first to make sure that none of these people are associated with those quests. Just to be safe. I didn't equip my stuff. That's right, we got this from Raggy last episode. It's a ring of Nahindrian courage. A simple enchanted ring with a semi-precious stone. Whenever the wearer of this ring is being attacked with a ranged weapon, they gain a +2 morale bonus to armor class, 1 extra attack of opportunity, and their speed is increased by 10 feet for 1 round. Okay. Get rid of these. And we're gonna grab... Where's it at? Is it worth swapping this out for this? Probably not. I mean, it is a +5. Which stacks nicely with his, what, 5 attacks per round? I am definitely going to get this belt, and I think give it to Sosiel. I'm also tempted to get the Headbutter's Helm. My main character. I really like having that +4 to Charisma. Especially since I have, what's it called?
Ready for anything.
A Moment of Triumph. Right? Is this based off? Yeah, Charisma modifier. Alright, so let's give this to Sosiel. And sell this belt, and then I guess we'll go ahead and go back. I can't think of anything. Well, I might get that quarter staff this guy's selling for Nenio. I do believe that it is custom made for her. Phantasmal Guide. Yeah. We'll grab that, and I don't think I need any scrolls, but I'm going to grab some just to be safe. Grab all of them. I have some wands as well. Those might be worth getting for Nenio. Which you currently have equipped. Bolster. I'm going to sell that. It only has 1 charge left. I don't really use this on him anyway. Let's just do that. And if we're gonna have him maximize, we'll just grab the greater maximize because it's just better. They're really expensive too. The greater quicken meta magic rod might be worth getting on Nenio as well, so you can spam Phantasmal Killer. How many charges does it have? 3. I'll hold off on it for right now. But we might buy that before we free all the slaves. We'll see. Alright. Let's get back to the Nexus. and repair ourselves.
Focus on the goal.
Oh, my friend. It's been so long since we last spent time together. Wouldn't you agree? We haven't even gone for a stroll. I've missed your company. Camellia's eyes have an unnatural sheen to them, and her shallow breaths emerge from her throat in a feverish staccato. Are you alright? Yes. No. Camellia wets her lips and harshly exhales. I'm quite well, but there's a way to improve my well-being 100-fold. Alright, hint taken. Where do you want to go together? I'm pleased you understand me. No one understands me better than you. Camellia bares her teeth in a predatory smile. Is she going to try and kill me? I'd like to suggest a little adventure. Take me to the brothel. Are you serious? Have I ever given you cause to doubt my seriousness? Camellia raises an eyebrow. My request is not as simple as it may first appear. A faraway look appears in her eyes. Mireia is demanding blood. Mireia? I forgot how I agreed to pronounce that. The whispers are growing ever more insistent, becoming overwhelming, muddling my thoughts, stopping me from thinking about anything else. We need to help her, Don Quixote, and I know how. In the 10,000 Delights, there's a special service. It's only offered to those who already know of its existence. What did I say? Deep below the brothel, there's a place where there are no limits. You understand? Camellia wets her dry lips. What's more, the service entails making a pleasure slave of the person your heart desires above all others. I'd like to seize this opportunity. All we do here is fight and kill. Isn't that enough blood for Mireia already? Camellia sighs and begins to explain, like she's explaining a simple truth to a child. To feed Mireia blood, I must perform a particular ritual. Select a victim, cut him open from neck to navel, wait for the life to leave his body. Then I lower Mireia's amulet into the still warm flesh, and then I take a piece of that flesh inside myself. You already know how it works. You forbade me from killing your subjects in Dresden, but here in the Abyss it's an entirely different matter. We're not even in your lands any longer. What difference does the death of one unknown pleasure slave make, when the fate of all Golarion might depend on that death? You're very well informed about the brothel's secrets. How did you learn about them? Let's just say I made inquiries. Hold on. Should Mireia be the one to select the victim? And the brothel will just have to accept whoever we're given. And anyway, why does a spirit from Golarion need the blood of someone in the Abyss? Camelia's answer does not come immediately. You see, Don Quixote, the Abyss has completely addled my little Mireia's mind. Now she simply craves blood. Any blood. From whatever source. Even from someone not of Golarion. The brothel promises to turn the slave into whomever we wish. We shall do this, and offer Mireia a choice. I don't like your tone, Camellia. Forgive me, my friend. Well, it seemed that my request was quite easy to understand. But you... forgive me. She's really starting to push what I'm willing to accept in the party. I'm gonna go with her, but if it comes to actually killing somebody, I'm probably gonna put a stop to it. I'm gonna see if I can talk her down. We'll see what happens. Alright, I go with you to the 10,000 Delights. Camelia's mouth broadens into a happy smile. Oh, my friend, I'm ever so pleased to hear that. I know I can rely on you. Alright, Sosiel, welcome back.
Hey, Sosiel. If you paint my portrait, will your goddess curse you for blasphemy?
How could a portrait of a friend be blasphemy? If you truly want me to, I'd be glad to paint you.
I know some people don't like Lan, but I think he's got a decent sense of humor. And between him and Wendewog, he's definitely the better personality. I mean, maybe she'd be different had I picked her in the beginning, but her super submissive attitude is just irritating. Prisoner of the Abyss. Which one is that? Oh, we can go back and talk about Trevor. Let's do that real fast. And then we'll go back to the Middle City after and continue exploring there. I think we still have like half the Middle City to explore.
I am prepared. That is not far.
Zeklex greets you politely. How can I be of assistance? I'm looking for one particular slave. I suspect he passed through the hands of a slaver wearing a black mask. You've come to the right place. Tell me more about the slave you're looking for. Tiefling listens to your description and then nods. You're in luck. The gladiator you're looking for is still alive. He's even earned a place in the Nahindrian League. We call him we call him the Dire One. I don't know why I stuttered over the Dire One. However, it won't be easy to arrange a visit. All the League's members prefer to keep to themselves, but the Dire One is notoriously reclusive. In the arena, Sosiel looks at you stricken. So these beasts made him O'Shaylin, or cruel mockery. But he is still alive, and that is all that matters. We can't waste time. We must get him out of there before it's too late. How do we do that, though? I guess we have to join the League ourselves before we can speak to him? Okay. So before I go to the upper city, I'll probably go ahead and clear out all the well, we're going to explore the interiors of all the places in the middle city first anyway. I'm going to try and clear up all the quests before we go up to the upper city, because I feel like once we get up there, things are going to start to escalate a bit. That's a cool looking staff. There's no overlap with this one either, which is nice. Let's see, this is a +4 bonus to caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance with all spells. I think this one's still better. But I can swap to Phantasmal Guide for other spells that aren't offensive in nature, if I remember to do that. I mean, I think this is still really good. I mean, they're both really good. And then this also adds +2 to the DC for all saving throws against spells from the that the wielder casts. So it's just this is a better offensive one. This is good for casting other illusionist spells. There's a whole section right here. We've been over here. I missed loot back here. That's right. I needed Wolja for this. There might be an easier way. This guy might sell Dimension Door scrolls. Take a quick peek. Maybe we can circumvent wasting time by wasting money instead. Well, there's the D's, so I don't think that they have... Oh, they're not in alphabetical order. Never mind. Nope. Might have a wand of Dimension Door. Hopefully, you know, not the one that I sold him. Wand of Curse of Idiocy. What does that do? The subject suffers a -6 penalty to Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma scores. One charge, that's when we sold him. I don't know how effective a Wand of Summon Monster 3 Monitor Lizard's going to be at this point in the game. But I guess, I mean, it's extra bodies on the field. You can't go wrong with it. And then there's a lot of ways to buff your summons as well. I'm also really tempted to get that ring that lets you summon 2 Minotaurs. But I'd probably give it to Sosiel. But I also really like this ring, because it gives him... A character makes a successful will saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on a successful save, instead of taking no damage. And his will is absurd. He's not even buffed up right now.
I'll go ahead.
Alright, so I think I'm going to call the episode here. And the next one we'll continue exploring the Middle City. And... I rotate the camera. Why is it floating away? Weird. And go from there. We'll finish this, then we'll knock out some of the quests in the city. Probably go back, get Woljip so we can get this loot as well. And... I don't even know if he knows Dimension Door, though. Do we have a Dimension Door scroll? We can probably craft it with Nenio. No, we don't have any. Okay, well, good to know. Either way, gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.